What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the farm. Today's video, we have a very interesting video. We are going to be processing our American birds, and during that time frame we're going to tell you the pros and cons about raising American Bresse chickens or any type of heritage chickens. Now, before we get to the birds, let me show you about the setup. Here is what we call the kill station. We have a large kill cone right here. This is mostly for the turkeys. We got some more cones that I need to add up on top of here. This is the Mrs. portion. She more comfortable on this situation here, or this station here. And then we head on over to the scalding tank. Now, most people use like a turkey fryer for some hot water. You want to get your hot water up to about 145 to 155, give or take, what you feel comfortable with. But we notice with doing that, for those that have experience with processing chickens, using that turkey fryer, you have to babysit that fryer almost the whole entire time. Sometimes it gets too hot, sometimes it gets too cold, sometimes the fire goes out, so you're constantly monitoring it. That is the reason why we went with the electric scalder. Now, this is from Stromberg. We're not affiliate or anything. I decided that we were going to have to get this because this right here saves time. Now, this is the larger one. They have a smaller one that requires 110. I recommend not getting that one, in my opinion, because I noticed that from hearing other people's problems with that. It's a good scalder. However, you almost have to wait 4 hours. With this one, to get it up to temp, it takes us about 45 minutes. So we will already have the water in there. I'll put a little bit of dish soap in there to kind of help break up the feathers, get the water in between the feathers and stuff like that. The missus had an electrician come by and installed one of these exterior outlets right here for us to do that. But I see that I'm going to have him come back and see if he could either flip it so that way we can actually close this. We had it. There was a plug right there existing when we purchased this home, and it was just a hassle moving this freezer back over there and having a scalder here. It was just a mess. So I'm glad the missus was able to get the electrician to put one right here. Next, we have the plucker. These two, out of all of these equipment for processing poultry, these two are the major game changer. Definitely this one. Once again, this is another one from Stromberg. But you got this large one. We can actually put 2 to 3 turkeys up in here. The feathers come out right here. We have a concrete mixer that has holes in it that you can get from a big box store. Don't ask me the size, just get a large one, whichever one that you seem deemed fit to catch up all the feathers here. Most people will have something to catch feathers, but they'll collect water at the same time, and it's just easier to have the holes already in there, so when we lift it up, we are catching feathers, and then we can put that into our compost bin. Next, we have the evisceration station. This is where I feel comfortable with. I will want to get some larger tables or taller tables. I think I'll probably be using this for the most part because it is taller. I've seen people put PVC pipe in those legs to kind of raise it up some. Eventually, what I like to do is get a stainless steel table about 6 foot long and probably about tall enough where I don't have to be bending over, because doing this for a long period of time, it hurts my back. I've had bad back issues, so that was one of the things that I would like to resolve when we're doing this. Eventually, I would like to have like maybe a commercial kitchen, something of that nature, so that way we can kind of cut our expenses on sending our birds over to the processor. Not saying that the processor does anything wrong, but it just cuts down on our overhead and our profit when we have to go down over to the processor. These are the other flock. I'm not sure exactly how many that we have here. I know it's at least about 40 something. They were picking on this guy. He was getting to a point where he wasn't even walking. Now he's walking. He's been in here for about 3-4 weeks, I believe. It's just when you get all these mini roosters, they get very aggressive and want to show their dominance and stuff. So they were just always constantly pouncing on him. And so we just kind of kept him with the flock, but separated him so that way he can still continue to eat, get some water without being picked on. And it worked out pretty well. He's not one of the biggest one, but he's no longer the runt of the whole crew. So a lot of people ask us about how to get into meat birds and what's the process of getting into meat birds. And what we normally tell folks is, if you're going to get into meat birds or even into any type of poultry, find someone that is local around you, is doing something that you, or similar to what the way you want to raise your animals, because that's going to help out a lot with the transitioning from moving them from their particular homestead or wherever farm that you're getting them from to your farm or homestead. Just makes the animal transition a lot easier. But what we always, like I said, we tell people to find somebody local that you raise the similar way that you raise them. Also find someone local that will be able to mentor you. Take a class on butchering that particular animal or harvesting that particular animal, is because if one of your animals gets sick, or once your animal gets to a certain age, it might be time to retire them and things of that nature. At least that's what we do. And so we've taken many classes, and we still take many classes on processing meat birds, because each time that we do it, we learned some little trick, like for instance on the kill cones. Even though we didn't take Kaylee's from the Honeystead class on processing chickens, she did a video about it where she sprayed some oil on the kill cones, so that way when you're done at the end of the day processing the chickens, it just helps out with the cleanup, the oil with the blood and stuff. We went to another class. I'm not sure where we learned this from, but another helpful tip is to add some water underneath the buckets to catch the blood when you do the dispatching of the chickens, because that blood, after, depending on how many chickens that you do or how long it takes you to do that many chickens, that blood gets very thick, and you don't want that into your bucket like that. So that water kind of helps it break it down where it's not all thick, kind of makes it more fluidly, I guess you can say. So another tip is on the scalder. With the scalder, we add some dish soap into the water, so that way when we're dunking our poultry, that help kind of spread that water around, make sure you get up underneath the feathers. Some people hold the poultry into the water. We like to dunk and get that water agitated, get the bird feathers agitated, so that way water gets all up in there. With the chickens, a lot of people already should know this, but if you don't, is that at least about 12 hours prior to processing your chickens, you want to remove all food from them and just give them plenty of water, so it makes the dispatch a lot easier. Now these are John Soskovitz tractors. We've used these plenty of times. They're multi-purpose tractors. I love them. We got these automatic doors on both of them. At the day prior to processing, we'll make sure that the doors do not open, so that way the chickens won't come out, and makes it a lot easier when you're trying to catch the chickens and time to dispatch them. good right there. So these are the remaining girls. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only see one that's potential to keep. We just had one pass not too long ago, about 2 days ago. So there's one in the back corner there that's scratching right now that has the bluest feet. So we'll probably keep her. All right, so we have the chicken dried out right now. We got everything prepped up. We got the water going. We want the water to be about 185 to 200. We got our plastic bags, Texas shrink bags, Texas poultry shrink bags. We need to order some more of these. We got our vacuum sealer to go. We might piece out some of these. I'm going to try to weigh out the largest ones, so that way we can piece out the largest ones. Let's see how this goes. And what we have in here for the dog snacks, we got hearts,
chicken balls,
rooster balls, testicles, and some gallbladders type stuff. Then we got some livers and 1 pound. We're going to be making some dirty rice with that. That's going to be another video, maybe even on Instagram or our Facebook channel. So if y'all haven't subscribed to those, make sure y'all go over there. And we're going, when we vacuum seal, we're going to try some of these seasonings here, just to try to kind of vacuum seal and kind of do a already marinade. We'll see how that goes. We like I said, we are foodies, so we like to get our food seasoned. So we're going to try that. Never done it like this before on vacuum sealing, so hopefully it turns out pretty good.
There was also post-mortem, which is after his heart stops beating, after he's legitimately dead, he's continually getting stabbed.
All right, so here we have, all right, so here is another day where we've kind of put where all our American Bresse at. We got our holes. We mostly try to do a lot of holes with our American Bresse because they don't get as big. We got our 3-pounders in here. We got some carcasses right here. Everything that's about 2 3/4 we have about right here. Over here we have all of our seasoned package from the thighs, quarters, and things that we have just basically broken down. We wouldn't have been doing this if it wasn't going to the APPPA convention, the American Pasture Poultry Producers Association. Now, if you want to learn more about APPPA, we'll put the link to the website down below. It's a very low cost subscription that you pay annually. And the good thing about being a part of APPPA, they have daily, if not weekly, newsletters where people can ask different questions, a lot better than what you can get on Facebook. Unlike with Facebook, you have a lot of people asking questions. Well, how much do your chicken breast go there, and or different things of that nature? And like I said, I just hate telling them that it all depends, because my feed is probably not the same cost as yours. My chickens that I purchase is probably not the same as yours. We do non-GMO. We do a lot of pasture raising where we move our chickens weekly. Maybe you don't even move your chickens weekly. Maybe your feed is a lot cheaper. Maybe it's more expensive. Like I said, we'll leave the link down below if you want to get more information about the APPPA. Where you can basically learn more of the production size, and a lot of the members there are free and willing to give you a lot of tips and tricks on how they got started and what works for them. But once again, what works for them might not work for you, and vice versa. But if you want to see more videos about the American Bresse that we have done, we'll put that off on the screen and also in the description down below. Until the next video, let's grow together.